Hello everybody and welcome back. Right, now we're going to make the shoes. Now what we need for that is some polymer clay. I've got that here and I'm going to use yellow for the shoe and then for the sole black, and then I might use another colour for the laces. I haven't quite decided, I probably will do. So I'm just going to get a piece of clay and break that in half. So when I make things like this, these characters, sometimes I make the shoes really big, or the hands, or the head, or whatever. So with this one, I'm just going to the legs are going to be quite thin, so I'm just going to make them well, the size of this really. Let's have a look. Can you see that little ball there? And I've just pulled that apart and making two parts to that. You see that? Yeah. And yeah, so you'll see when it's all finished what size they are. So it doesn't really matter. You can use more or less. It's entirely up to you. Yeah, sort of make it up really. You know what I mean? What I'm saying? You do. That's great. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is just roll that into a well, I want to like a sort of like a cone shape. And then this end is going to be where the lace is going to be, and you just need to pinch that like that. Can you see that? So I just need to do the other one now. All will be revealed. Bear with me while I show you this. And like I say, if the other one you're doing doesn't look exactly the same size, it doesn't really matter, because this is it's a character at the end of the day, and we don't get hung up on details like that. Because what I do is I do quite a lot of detail work, but it's not you know, there's loads of detail on there, but it's not all exactly as it should be. So you get the idea. It's more like a cartoon character, I suppose you could say. So there you go. We've got two. And I've just pinched that down like that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the soles of the shoes, and I'm going to use black. Now I use yellow to start with, because if I'm going to use black, it sticks to your hands. You need to clean those afterwards. So I don't want to be touching the yellow very much. Well, I can touch yellow after I clean my hands, after I've used the black. So I'm just going to knead that one a bit. This black's a little bit harder. Sometimes that happens. Just knead it as much as you can till it gets soft and pliable. And yeah. So what I'm going to do is break it in half, because I want roughly the same size for each sole of the shoe. And what I do is I break them in half again. So what I try to do is that 2/3 is the size of this one, and then the other third is that one. So see, this one's bigger. And I'll explain why in a moment, why that needs to be the case. And I'm just going to break that into 2/3. Can I say 2/3? Is that allowed? Would you all understand what I mean? Yeah, so there you go. So we've got it like that. So I'm just going to put those down. And what you do next is you just flatten it out like so. And you want to just see how big your shoe is, because you want them to sort of overlap. And I'll explain that in a moment. So it needs to be something like that. Now we can mess about with how it all fits in a moment. So I'm just going to do the other side. So roll that up and then squeeze it like that. This one's a little bit sticky, but you just have to go with it. So there you go. So there's the other one. And it's a little bit bigger than the first one I've done. Now I'm going to do the back heel with these two smaller pieces. So all you do is just pinch them like that, and then make well, it's a bit like a circle. We're going to mess about with this in a minute and put it into shape. But I just wanted to show you those bits first, so you could get onto that. So it just needs to be like that. Okay. So I'm just going to peel that off. Right, what I'm going to do now is get one of the front parts of the, and I'm just gonna, this is quite fiddly to show you guys, but I shall try. So, what you need to do is squeeze the bottom in a bit and then push that up a bit. So this bit at the top needs to be rounded, and then the sides need to go in a bit and the bottom needs to go in, so that's more like that. So you can see the top's rounded and the sides and the bottom is straight. So I'm just going to do that with the other one. So I'll show you that again. So I'll put that on there, and then you just pinch those together like that and push that up. And then mess about with it a bit. So that's still rounded at the top. The sides are pinched in a bit there. So you want to sort of try and get it a little bit narrower and push that up like that. And then you've got it, see? Like that. All very good. Put that down. Now, the other end, you want to do the same. But what I find is I just basically make that into the bottom bit into a straight line first, and then pinch that in. So you want the same effect. So the top bit's round, and then the sides are level, and the bottom is straight as well. Can you all see that? Hopefully you can. And I'm just going to do that with the other one. So push them in, push the bottom in, and you've got that sort of thing. It's a little bit rounded there, so I'll just correct that. And so the next thing you need to do is put these soles, or whatever they are, and the heels, onto the shoe. Now, remember what I said? You may have black on your hands, so you need to wipe them. And I have some little wipes here that I'm just going to use. So excuse me a moment while I just clean my hands and get all that off. Not that there was that much, but because anything you've got on your hands with this polymer clay, it will stick to it. So now I'm going to use a towel just to dry them off, because otherwise it's going to be very sticky, and you don't want that. So the next thing we're going to do is get your shoe. So if you can imagine, this is the front of the shoe and this is the back. Okay, and we're just going to turn it to the side like that. And then you're going to get your sole, and you want to stick. You see this? It's quite fiddly for me to show you. Perhaps I need another camera. Stick it like that. So, you know, remember we had the rounded bit at the top. That's the same as the rounded bit at the edge of the shoe. So if you can imagine, this is the shoe on its side. Oh, no, I've nearly dropped it. Yeah, so like that. See what I mean? Now I'm going to put the other one on. Now what you want to do is, where you've got that, you've got a circle one side. Remember you've got two sides, and then the bottom is flat. You want to, I might have to get up for this bit, show you that you need to put the circle part in the same sort of circle part there. I hopefully you understand all that. Push that down, so you've got a little bottom. So this is the front and this is the back. You see that? Now if I turn it to the side, you see what I got there? You see that? Oh, it looks marvelous. So there you've got the front of the shoe, and there's the back of the shoe. And then if you can imagine there, the leg's going to go into the shoe there eventually. And I'll show you in a moment how we get that ready. Because what we're going to do is bake these separately and then build everything together onto the character at the end. Okay? So there you go. So there's one. So I'm just going to do the other one. So if you can imagine, so there's the front. That's the circle part, and that's the circle part, and you just want to push that on there. Now, you don't need to put any glue or anything on it because it's sticky in there. You see that? So there you go. You've got the bottom. And you get the other one, and then you've got the flat end there, and you've got the flat end there, and you push it down because you want the rounded end to be the, oh, you can't even see that rounded end to be there. Okay. Hopefully, this is a bit fiddly because it's small and showing you guys is a bit tricky for me. So I might have to come up with a clever idea how you can see it, but hopefully you can. So there's the bottom of the shoe. Yeah. So there's the front. That's the back. Okay. So there you go. So now we've got two shoes. You see those? Yep. And what we're going to do is you need what I'm going to do is use a little cocktail stick. I have got tools, but some people might not have tools. So what I'm going to try and do is do all this for you guys without using tools and things. Okay. So there we go. Yep, that's it. So what we're going to do now is on the bottom, I'm just going to make some sort of tread marks. Can you see that? Oh, you can see it. So you just push the cocktail stick in down like that. And it helps it stick as well. So can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you can see that. Look, so you got little tread marks. Now you can do any design on the bottom because different shoes have different tread marks, but that's what I'm doing today. Okay, you can see that. And I'm just going to do that on the other one. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Push that in. Gently, gently does it. There. So now we've got two shoes. Well, bottom of the shoe. Okay, so there you go. Oh, you see that? Yeah, so you got your little tread mark. So that's the right way around. Let's show you in real life. So there you go. So you can imagine the legs going in there. Okay, and the laces on these little round bits, which are quite tricky to do, but I'm going to show you. Okay. Now, what I might do, just to make them a little bit more funky, is go around the edge with my cocktail stick and make some indentations. You know what indentations are? Good, you do, that's great. And just push that in. Just to give it a little bit of, a little bit of texture there, just to show people there are new funky design out at the moment. And I'm going all the way around. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you couldn't see that. Okay. I think it's wise that I look at the camera when I'm doing it. Because if you don't see it, you can't learn. Okay, so there you go. You see that? So now we've got the pattern on the bottom and we've got a bit around the side. Looks a bit funky like that. Okay. You're amazed, aren't you? I can tell. Okay, so now we're going to do the next one. So I'm just going around the edge. So I'll do it that way around. So, oh, you can't even see it. Upside down. And push that down. So just do that in like that. Little indentations. Push that all the way around. Like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's a character at the end of the day, and this is art, and don't get caught up with being frustrated because this is all supposed to be fun. Okay, so there's the other one. You see that? So that's the right way round. Okay, and that's the back. And that's the front. Okay, you got it? Good, good. That's great. Okay, so that's that. So now I'm just putting those down. And what I'm going to do next is put that to one side. I need another colour to make the laces. So I've got some luxury colours in here. And I'm going to use a contrasting colour as much as I can. But this is for a young lady. So it's supposed to be a Zumba teacher. Yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea because she's leaving our Zumba class that I would make her a little present. And that's why I'm making this. But I thought, I'll show you guys how I did that. Because it's quite good with other characters you're doing. It's the same sort of principle. So I thought, why not do a video on that? Everyone might enjoy it. So I think she wears nice bright colours. So I might use a little bit of pink. Look at that. It's like a luminous pink. So I'm going to take that out. Because I've used it before. I put it in a bit of wrap. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't dry out. So that's a little tip for you guys. Why am I talking in that accent? God knows. It just goes like that. Right, now, you just pinch a bit of that out. You don't need much for this. And this is a little bit tricky. So what you do is start kneading it. And actually, I think I might need a little bit more. Because what we're going to do is roll it very thinly into a lovely line like that. See how I did that? I just rolled that out. And you don't want it to break really, but saying that, sometimes they do. And if they do, what do? You just start again, or you come up with a solution to get over that little issue, which on a lace like this is going to be, it doesn't really matter because you've got a loop and two little bits coming out. You know, like when you tie your laces, so you could get away with it breaking because no one's going to know. You know what I mean? You do. That's great. Anyway, there you go. Oh, you can't see it very well because it's not very good on the old focus in. Okay, so what I try to do is also with the ends pinch them a bit thinner because the lace, you know, at the ends have got those little, I don't know what they're called. I don't know. They seal the end, don't they? So it doesn't fray. So you need that kind of thing going on. So what I do is just try to make it into a bit of a point, which can be a bit tricky. But anyway, there you go. So there we go. We've got it all on there. So you've got to be really careful with this because it might break. But like I say, don't worry too much if it does. Now, what you want to do, I'm going to have to put this down, I think. Yeah, let's put that to one side a moment. And you just need to make 2 loops. I will do it, and hopefully you can see this, and I will pick it up and then show you. So you loop it round, and it should stick, and then you loop it round again. Try to get the same sort of size on your loop, and then see that's sticking on my finger. So if I pull that straight away, that would all break. So you just have to be gentle, guys, okay? Just be gentle with it. And sometimes it sticks back on itself like this is done. So I'm just going to push that down. And I'm going to get that off with a cocktail stick. And I'm going to show you what I've done. So basically, you just make it look like... Hold on. I can mess about with it when we get it on the shoe. There. See? See that? Doesn't that look lovely? It's like a big bowl. Big bowl. So now I'm going to stick it on my little shoeette. So I'm going to, we know that's the front because it's the curved part. So I will put that on and then I will show you what I mean. You just sort of push it on a little bit. You don't have to push it loads, and then mess about with how you want the lace to look. So I've done it like that. Can you see that? You can. That's great. So there you go. You got your little bow. And what I'm going to do now is do the other side. And then we've got one more thing to do for this part of the clip. And that's to put a little hole in the shoe because we are going to make I think it's called an armature. But don't, if I've said that wrong, I apologize. But for the body. So we're going to make it out of wire. And that's going to actually stick into the hole we're going to make with the cocktail stick later because all these little bits will be cooked in an oven. And yeah, then it'll be lovely and hard. And then we can stick it all together. But I'll show you that later because I'm doing little clips so you can see which bit you want to do. If you want to do all of it, you can watch all the clips. If you don't want to watch all of it, then that's great too. You can just say, oh, I need to make some shoes. So let me find Simon's clip and I'll just follow that. Okay, so back on the funny voice, so apologies for that. Hopefully you're laughing at this. Well, hopefully you're watching it, otherwise it's a waste of time. Well, it's not really because I watch it back if I can't remember what I did. So it's all very good. So it's a little bit of a remembering training session for me. Okay, so now I'm going to get my pink again. And I'm going to try and get the same sort of amount. I suppose what I could have done is got a bigger piece and then just break it into 2 at the beginning and then done it that way. But I didn't do it like that because I'm a bit organic. You know what I mean, what I'm saying? You do, that's great. Okay, so let me just roll that out. Can you see that? I'm rolling that out just by hand. I suppose you could put it on the desk and roll it out, but I'm not doing that. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little bit stuck on there. Just need to roll that in because that's not what you want. Okay. And like I say, if it breaks, just do it again, or just put half on and then the other half, and then no one's going to know anyway. Just cover up anything that's gone wrong. That's life, isn't it? You just get over these little tricky bits of life. Okay, right. So there you go. It's a little bit thick there, so I just need to make it a little bit thinner. So try to roughly get. But like I say, you know, it's when you look at it, you think, oh yeah, that's a lace, and it's a pig lace. So don't get hung up if it's not completely perfect, because it doesn't have to be. Like I say, because it gives the character, funnily enough. You know what I mean? What I'm saying? You do. That's great. Right. So now I'm just going to put that down and fold that over. So it might be a little bit longer than the other one, but you know, hey, it's organic. We're not going to worry too much. And it is a little bit longer. So show you. Right. Let me show you this. Right. Let me get this off. Remember, I'm using foil because that's what I'm going to put in the oven with it, and it comes off easy. Right, so now, see that I've got that bit's too long. I mean, you could leave it on, it'd be a little bit of an effect, but I'm just going to pinch that off just a little bit. See what I did there? I just pinched that off. And then I'm going to just roll that a bit because it's a bit rough. And yeah, I've got it there. So I'm going to mess that with that in a moment. So I'm going to stick that on. You can watch me do that. Can you see that? Yeah, you sort of can. And got to be careful because I got dirty hands. So, okay, we're going to push that just down there like that and pull them down. So you have to be gentle with this. Don't be scared of it. But the more you play with clays, whether they're air dry clays or polymer clay, you just get a feel for it in the end. So don't worry too much. So there we go. We got that one now. You see that? I might do that a little bit more up like that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and it's stuck on the side there. Even when it's baked, it will be a little bit fragile. So don't. If you dropped it, it would probably break, and you'd have to do it again. But don't worry. Just do it again. So let me pick these two up and show you what they look like. There you go. So you can imagine that on whatever it is we're making. Oh, we do know, don't we? A Zumba teacher. And we just put that on. Okay. If you wanted to, you could also put some little, I probably will do actually, little like holes in that to make it look like it's, because they're supposed to be trainers. And if you know what a trainer is, I don't know what you call them in America, what they call it. Oh, I don't know what they call it in America. Oh, let me know in the comments below. I haven't got time to think about that. I'm trying to show you things. So I'm just going to clean my hands off because they were a little bit sticky. Okay. Right. Now, I suppose what we could have done really is put these bits on, the little details on before we did the laces. But I didn't do it like that. But when you do it, put the detail on first. But I've only just decided to put the detail on. Okay. You know what I mean? One thing. You do. That's great. So what I'm going to do is use a cocktail stick and carefully just hold it there, push it down so you've got some little lines going around there. You see that? You see that? It's very, very... Oh, you can just see that. Can you see those little lines there? Little dots there? Little holes. So just give it a bit of definition, that is, if you don't know what defo is. Okay, I'm just going to do the other side. Can you see that? Push that in only a little bit. Just be gentle with it. Don't be heavy-handed. Okay, so there you go. You see that? I don't know if you can see all this. Right, where's that? You see that bit there? Yes, you can. There, look. See that? That looks lovely. Little cute shoes. Now I'm going to do the other side. Again, pick it up. Be careful. And just put some little holes along there, just like that. So, yeah. It's looking great. And I promise you, when you put all these little bits together, it's going to make the hands, the feet, you know, all the bits and pieces, you will find it looks really funky. Okay, so put that on. So that one's done as well. Can you see that across the screen? Let me see. See that? Again, that's great. So what we want to do now is, like I say, we're going to do an armature. So it's going to be with metal, wire that can move. And we need, like, if you can pretend that's the armature. Oh, I dropped it. Whoops, that's not good, is it? Let me get another piece. Oh, it's all live here, you know. Okay, let me get another piece, but I got over the problem. Look at that, seconds, and we got another one. Look at that, brand new one. So we're going to put this in there, and then give it a little wiggle about. Okay, make it fairly big. I'm not too sure how what wire I've got, but I know I've got some, so I don't know exactly how big the hole needs to be. But once this has been baked, it's going to go hard, so you won't be able to make the hole bigger. So now's the time to get the hole bigger. Okay, so there we go. Don't worry if it's rough. We can go around afterwards, and I'll show you a little trick to do that when it's all put together. So there you go. You got your hole. So you can imagine this was wire. It's going to go in that hole. We're going to glue it at a certain angle, and yeah, it all will be revealed when you see the finished product. But these like clips are just to show you how to do the little bits, and then we're going to put it all together because it's going to be fun. So that's that one. Now I'm just going to do that one, and I'm going to push that down. Again, you don't want to go all the way through, and I just slipped then, and it made it a little bit dirty, but a little bit messy, but I'm just going to go around that. Because what we can do is make some other little bits to clip around that, and I might put some what I will put some socks on this Zumba teacher, so you will see. Can you see that? Yeah. So it covers up any rough bits. I promise you, it will look amazing when it's finished. Okay, so that's it. So that's all done. So what you need to do is just put that somewhere safe on a piece of foil, and then I'm going to stop this clip, and then I'm going to show you another part of the character, how I do that. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the other clips. Okay, thanks for watching.